My name is Gianpaolo Vernocchi. I am the creative director and co-founder at DESTINYbit. And today I'm here to announce Within, which is the first true competitive fighting game for tablet devices. Let's take a look at a trailer. So, as you saw from the trailer, Within is a one-on-one fighting game which features 2D gameplay and 3D graphics powered by the Unreal Engine 3. It features troubled characters who have reached the lowest point in their lives, but then something happens to them. They get approached by mysterious individuals who give them willingly or unwillingly tattoos. And these tattoos tell something about these characters that nobody else knows and also unleashes the power of their soul. So today we're going to announce the first two characters, which are Alexandra Ross and Liam O'Brien. And they're both going to be playable in the beta. So today I want to talk about three things: controls, customization, and competitive features. Let's start with controls. So, we used to think that making a fighting game on tablet was impossible to make. And the reason why is we used to think that we need this. We need the precision of a fight stick to play a fighting game. But when you think about it, a stick, we came up with many techniques to use the buttons, but not as many to use the lever. So we came up with double tapping, plinking, pianoing, all of those techniques to use the buttons. There's something fascinating about pressing buttons. And when you think about it, an iPad is just a giant button. When you put down your finger, that button is pressed. And when you lift your finger, that button is released. So let's take a look at how what we came up with the controls. So I'm going to move to the demo station. So this is the game in action as soon as we switch views. All right, so to the left you can see the game, and on the right you can see my hands. So as you can see, there are no on-screen controls. But ideally, you have to split the screen in half, right where the timer is. Everything that is movement is done with one finger. So I can put one finger down on the right side of the screen to walk forward, one finger to walk back. I can put one finger down back to crouch, one finger down forward. I can neutral jump by putting one finger on the center, top, jump forward, jump back. I can double tap to dash, and this is movement. And everything is done with one finger. And I can just keep my finger down, and the character moves. Normal attacks and throws are done with two fingers. And again, split the screen in half. On the forward side, we got punches. So I put down two fingers, and I get a jab. On the back side, we got kicks. I put down two fingers, and I get a light kick. What if I want to do a roundhouse or a fierce? Fierce is done with two fingers on the left, but I have to place my fingers vertically. So, jab, fierce. And this is still the precision of a button. Same thing with kicks. Short, roundhouse. What about low attacks? I can place one finger down and just add another finger to have a low short, or just tap two fingers to get a low short. I can do one finger down and one finger up to do a down roundhouse, which in this case is an anti-air. And I can do the same thing with punches. I can place one finger down, light punch, one finger down, fierce. And this is a sweep. So I can do, for example, jumping attacks, roundhouse, jumping, light kick, all of that. Grabs are done with down, back, and forward, and down, forward, and back. So this is the front throw, like this. I have to cross my fingers. So this is normals. How do we do specials? Now, this is a tech demo. We're going to show this only to showcase the controls. And this is our training stage, and this is our first character, Liam. We still don't have the special moves for Liam, but we have something to show you how they will work. So special moves are done with 3 fingers and gestures. So for example, I place 3 fingers down, again, on either side, and I swipe down, and I get a special. Or I can swipe back and get another special. Specials and supers are done with 3 fingers. So for example, I can do a special, or I can do a low short into special, like that. So these are the controls of the game. So, to sum things up, 1 finger is movement, 2 fingers is normal and grabs, 3 fingers are specials, supers, and the emotion system, which we're going to talk about in a bit. So, this concludes controls, which are very precise, very innovative, and we encourage you to try them. Let's talk about customization. In Within, you will be able to customize the behavior of attacks. We use a system that we call the emotion system. There are 5 types of emotion in this game, and each character has 1 or more emotion attached to them. Today, we're going to announce anger and sorrow. So each character generates a certain amount of emotion points by using attacks. Attacks generate emotion points. Not every attack generates emotion points, and they generate emotion points only on hit. Emotion points can be spent to use cards. Cards are what customize the behavior of attacks. And there are many, many cards that we are showing today, and they're going to be available in the final game. Each attack has a different effect. Each card has a different effect that alters the behavior of the attack. You can assign cards to attacks, and you can activate that card at any moment by tapping 3 fingers. This is a card. On the top right, you can see its cost. For example, this card costs 2 emotion points of sorrow and has an effect. This card adds armor to an attack for a certain duration, and that duration is 10 frames. So when I activate this card, I have 10 frames of armor on the attack that I assigned the card to. So you can create a custom deck of 5 cards for each character, and you can use them in combat. Let's see how. So I'm going to give you a brief example on how to use cards. Can somebody hold my mic, please? You got it? Can you hold it when I talk? Thanks, Vicky. All right. So let's start with a simple card. The last card down here with the number 1 is a card assigned to this special attack. So let's take a look at the damage of that special attack. So that special attack goes about to where the B is. This attack, when activated, adds 25% more damage to that attack. And I activate that card by just tapping 3 fingers. So I can do this. Boom. And the damage goes way to the O. Let's take a look at a more interesting card. The second card right there costs 1, and the one with the gray icon. It's a card that makes standing fierce normal cancelable. So this is our standing fierce. This is close and this is far. Far standing fierce is not cancelable, but I can activate the card to make that normal cancelable. And for example, cancel into another standing fierce, or I can do this and cancel into a sweep. So imagine, thank you. Imagine the possibilities. You can assign that card to any attack. So for example, you can assign that to a special move and make that special move normal cancelable. So that concludes the demo for cards. And you will be able to build multiple decks for every character and switch out decks in between matches. And there are many different card types that are in this game, and they're going to be in the final release. For example, cards that add knockdown, cards that add wall bounce, card that resets, all of that stuff. It's going to open to endless possibilities of customization of characters. So, for example, if you find yourself in a bad matchup, you don't have necessarily to counterpick. You can just change your deck. And the same character will be different for two people because two people might play different decks. So this is a very powerful system. Let's talk about the competitive feature, what interests you guys. This game runs at 60 frames per second on every iPad from the iPad 2 and above. But the game will look better the better your iPad is. So if you have an iPad Retina display, it will look better than on an iPad 2 while still keeping 60 frames per second. This game features multiplayer, both locally and online, and it features a rollback-based multiplayer, which allow for a virtually lagless experience online. Of course, we're going to have some advanced features, such as hitboxes, frame data built in right into the game, replays, and something we're calling the pause prevention system. So since we're on a touchscreen, some accidental touches might happen. So you have to hold the pause button in order to pause. And if you're in a multiplayer match, both players have to hold the pause button at the same time in order to pause the game. So we avoid unpleasant situations at tournaments and matches. So these are just some of the features that we're building in. And we encourage you to follow us during development because we are going to do something that we like to call open development. As you can see, the game right now is a very early stage. We're showing something that's little bit more than a tech demo. And the reason why we're doing this is because we want to gather as much feedback as possible before the game releases. We're going to do something quite unprecedented for fighting games. We're used to fighting games that release, and we just have to deal with them. Deal with all like infinites and all broken characters. But with open development, you can follow development as it happens. You can see characters that are being implemented and see cards that are being implemented. And with our beta program that launches on www.whatlieswithin.me, you will be able to join our closed beta and get a new build of the game every week for you to test and tell us what you think. The beta launches in September, and it's going to feature 2 playable characters, Alexandra and Liam, and it's going to roll out today to selected members that are already signed up for the beta on the website. Within will launch in 2014 for iPad and shortly after on Android. And we encourage you to follow us on Twitter and Facebook, YouTube, and also Twitch, where we will be streaming development so you can see how a fighting game is made and also give us real-time feedback on how we're doing. I would like to thank you all very much.